I really enjoyed it. Henry, you have to come up here with me because it's not just me, it's the our thing.
It is indeed.
Most of you know, well, no, not most of you know, but I started Cincy in June, and my reason was not to work the business because I've worked other home-based businesses before, but my two daughters did me such a big favor in graduating from college, so I had no longer nothing to write off on my taxes. So I was like, okay, we need something to write off on our taxes, so we need a home-based business. But it was just something that's out there, and then I felt like I had this extra time too, so I was like, okay, God, what am I going to do with this extra time I have? So one of my friends came to visit me from, at the time she was staying in Kansas or New Mexico, and she ended up staying at my house for a week, so she was sitting there working on her workstation, and I said, Diamond, what are you doing? And she told me what she was doing, and I said, well, let me see. She said, well, you're supposed to have already looked at my page, and I hadn't looked at her page. So I went on and I looked at her page, and I read all about it. And usually I never make decisions without asking Walker first. So this particular day, I looked at her workstation, and I saw join, and I was like, okay, well, I think I'll join this one that says Cincy, because that's what Diamond is doing. So I did. I joined Cincy. Then I went back and go, oh, I guess I need to make sure I got $99 in my account. So anyway, I joined, and I'm telling you, from that first day, I had orders. It just started happening so fast. So I'm like, okay, this got to be a God thing, because this is not Connie's decision. This is all God that has blessed us to be able to do this. So every month, I mean, things was just working so fast, and Jess kept calling me saying, oh, congratulations, you did this. And I was like, okay, I did, because I didn't read my startup guide. I didn't do a lot of stuff that Jess was telling me to do. I went into the training sometime, and I would look at some of that. So the more I did it, the more I got excited. And Jess kept emailing me, and she was like, oh, I like it because you did this, and congratulations. And she kept sending me all the cute stuff. Then I started getting things from Becca, and I was like, well, who is Becca? Because she's really a nice lady. She keeps sending me this stuff. And so anyway, to make a long story short, every month my orders kept getting bigger and bigger. And to me, because they was $500 a month, and I didn't have $500 all the time with Mary Kay, I thought I was doing something grand. So I was like, wow, every month my orders keep going over $500. So then the trip came. No, I like challenges. So Jess kept giving me challenges, and I guess I kept making those challenges because she kept sending me cute stuff in the mail. So then the trip came up. So one of my teammates and people kept joining. I mean, I kept talking about Cincy, and people kept joining under me. So that was another thing, because like now I have a team of 16, which listening to some of you guys, 16 is nothing. But I'm going to be where you are one day. Yes. As I was saying, we saw the trip come up, so one of my team members and I, we was like, we going on this trip, so let's just touch and agree right now in Jesus' name. I'm going to Hawaii. This is my 30th year being married, and I'm going to Hawaii. So Jess came in November to Arizona to train our team. I wore my lei. I told my team members, I'm wearing my lei because I'm going to Hawaii. Okay, so then we start working on the trip. So, I was like, okay, well, this person is going to get promoted. And then this person kept joining, and then orders just kept coming in. I kept looking at the numbers, and I was like, okay, well, I'm almost there. Oh, I'm not worried, because, see, she's going to get promoted, and this is going to happen. But how many of you know, like Becca was talking about, the adversary would come and try to trick you up? He came at the last hour and tried to trick me up. So I kept telling Jess, I said, Jess, my numbers should have changed. Something is going on. My numbers are not changing in the workstation. She was like, oh, they'll change. Maybe they're just behind. I was like, no. Something is wrong. We need to call customer service because something is wrong. And they kept saying, oh, no, it'll update itself. Don't worry. Jess even called, and it was like, oh, no, the system just hadn't updated. And in my mind, I hear God telling me, something is wrong. You got to pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. So, like I said, this was the last hour. So I called customer service, and I was like, okay, you got to send me something in writing telling me that it's going to be this amount. You can't just give me that by me hearing your voice. You got to give it to me in writing. So then they come back and say, well, no, those numbers didn't add up because of, I don't even remember what happened. So, okay, so I'm not a quick person to have a meltdown, because I take everybody else's stuff. Everybody tell me I should be a counselor. But I like to hear everybody else's stories, and I like to help them work through their situations. But I don't really give my story. So I had to move away from my daughters because they can't see mommy getting ready to have a meltdown, even though they're adults. I don't like for this side to show. So I waited a little bit, and I called Jess, and I was trying not to cry because we was getting ready to have a team meeting call, I think, or director call. So I was like, I cannot go on the call like this. So anyway, I called her, and I was trying so hard not to let Jess hear me cry, because I know she was going to cry too. And I told her what happened, and I hadn't even called my husband at work and told him what was going on. I was like, I cannot tell him that I'm not there, because I told him that I was going to win this trip, and I don't have enough points. And so anyway, then Mitch got on the phone, and I boo-hooed a little bit more because he was so encouraging. He was like, you're going to do this, don't worry. And Jess was like, well, call, you make a list of people and call your customers, call and do this. And I'm telling you, I called one of my friends from home. I called a few of my friends. I was sending out text messages. One person did a $200 order. Somebody else from Alaska, I won't say who, ordered a lot of chocolate from me. I went online, but I had more than enough at the end. I had more than enough, but the enemy wanted me to give up. The enemy wanted me to give up. So while I'm constantly telling other people, no, you don't give up. You trust God all the way to the end until God say, no, you trust God. And the enemy was trying to test me in my own word. So because when I called Jess, I was like, oh, you know, I'm just not going to do it because I'm just tired. I'm just not going to do it. And but the enemy was trying to trick me up. And so I'm here to encourage you. Don't give up. Because if I would have given up, I wouldn't be married to my husband for 30 years. We've never been separated. You know, if I was going to give up, I never would have made it this far. So I'm at Cincy all the way, and one day I'm going to be a Becca. Okay?